So Kamala Harris really only did one difficult interview the entire election cycle. The rest of her interviews and town halls where she did terrible, horrible, no good, very bad, she did that to herself because she has to not only distance herself from Biden, try to appear as moderate as possible, while also hiding all her radical policies that she has supported in the past. That's why she's tasked Mark Cuban to speak good for her, because she can't about herself. But unfortunately for Mark Cuban, his wussy anti-Trump energy crumbled after Bill O'Reilly fact-checked him in real time.
Dan, I love you. You're so wrong. Trump, inflation was up 25% over the Obama economy he inherited. Ask him about Yemen, where he decided not to take action and allowed 100,000 people to keep on dying in Yemen. Talk to him about his tariffs. What worked with his tariffs? He had 4 years to make tariffs work with China. China kicked his ass. China took him to court, right? Because he didn't know how tariffs worked, and it hurt the economy. The economy was rolling along, and it got so hit by the tariffs that his appointment to the Federal Reserve, Jerome Powell, had to come back in and cut interest rates 3 times. And then we get to the real point of reckoning, the pandemic. And what does he do? He says, if we don't test people, the viruses didn't really happen. He holds back on resources, except for Vladimir Putin, to keep people from getting healthy. That is not an accomplished president, Dana. He has not done anything. What he got, he inherited. You know what? His administration was the same as his personal wealth. He inherited it.
I got to jump in with course corrections here. Number one, the real wages, which is really the only economic barometer for the folks, was up 8.2% in the 4 years Trump was president. 8.2 across the board for working Americans. Fact. Under Biden-Harris, it is around 1%. No COVID pandemic. They have failed. Number two, inflation didn't start because Putin and the Arabs did anything. Inflation started, and I don't know whether you know this, Mr. Cuban, but Biden signed in his first week in office at least 20 executive orders, making it harder for every fuel company to harvest their product, whether it be fracking or oil or anything. The fuel company said, holy you know what, we're going to get hosed because our prices to get the stuff out of the ground are quadrupling, so we're going to do it retail now. That's what ignited it, not Putin and not Saudi Arabia. That is the truth.
There's something about Mark's energy that's off. It almost feels like what he's speaking about, he knows he's wrong. He just wants to get into the Kamala administration no matter what. His anti-tariff stance makes no sense because I can't think of anything more American to incentivize businesses from being here in the United States so that the American people can feel the economic benefit from it while also creating good paying jobs here. And I also don't get why he doesn't want to deregulate the oil industry here in America so that the price we pay at the grocery store and pump are less for us, rather than us buying oil off of other countries.